Welcome back in to the Scramble Drill podcast, week 15. Week 15 has come and gone in the NFL. It was a wild week, devastating actually for you and I in a couple different ways. It was, I made the playoffs in 6 Dynasty leagues. I've been eliminated in half of them now. Yeah, all of my 1-seed teams are still alive, but the rest are toast. And Landon, you and I both, we snuck in. Not snuck in. We have good teams in the granddaddy of them all, but if you paid attention in our league this season, you or I were the underdogs for sure, and we came up short. I came up way short, and you got your heart broken.
Yeah, we were. I think we were solidly teams 3 and 4. So it makes sense that we don't make the championship. You didn't really have a shot. Yours got a little out of hand. Mine, I lose in the fourth quarter of the Monday night game.
That sucks.
Devon A-Chain, a few catches in the fourth, buries me. It was tough, but I was the third. I think I was the third best team after the trades I made. So not making the championship is fine. Josh does move on. Josh is the one who beat me.
Yeah. I wanted to see you move on, but you do kind of deserve it. Because you've done this to me more than once in this league. You've done that to me.
Yes, I've had a lot of success in this league, so I'll get over it. I'll sleep fine at night. I'm really not as upset as I thought I would be. But here we go. Josh scored the most points. Josh scored the most points he scored all year. So good for him, and pulling for him in the championship. So yeah, we'll see.
And I guess our number 2 league, it's Josh and I are playing each other in a 2-week championship for that league. So he and I are going to be at each other's throat this week, but he also will probably be asking me for advice in another league. So fantasy's been a wild ride, but we're not here to talk about fantasy. We're here to talk about week 15 of real football. A lot of insane things happened. So let's just hop straight to Thursday night football. Where has this been all year for my Atlanta Falcons?
Yeah.
Job on his line, Raheem Morris apparently is incredible. Kirk Cousins shows out against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which he did all last year too.
Yeah. Is he incredible? Like, he's a defensive guy. They scored 28 points. I don't know.
No, I guess I'm not saying that. I don't like Raheem Morris as our head coach, but the team did everything they had to do to win this game. No Drake London. Kyle Pitts. This is what we were looking for. This is what we were looking for 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
Yeah, and I certainly am not in the place where I think this is the new normal for Kyle Pitts.
No.
But my gosh, I mean, this was the greatest tight end game of the century.
It's nice.
This is the first tight end to score.
He's got that in his bag.
He's the first tight end to score 3 touchdowns and have 150 yards this century.
Are you serious?
Shannon Sharp was the last to do that in 1996.
Oh my God.
1996. Shannon Sharp did it. That was the last one to do that. I mean, it was a insane game from Kyle Pitts. It was great to see. And it couldn't come a moment too soon, as he's got 3 games left before free agency. So now there's rumors the Falcons may franchise tag him.
I don't know.
That's a lot after 1 game. I don't know how I would feel there, but good for him.
I saw somewhere where he had like 7. He's been in, this is his 5th year in the league. This was 7% of his entire fantasy points was from this night.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. 7%. But I mean, it was great. Good for him. Yeah. Good for Kirk. 373 and 3 tubs.
Dude,
I mean,
Kirk torches.
It was a lot of fun.
Bucks. He torches them. I think there's a lot more to talk about on the Bucs side. I mean, this was an anomaly for Atlanta.
Let me say one thing.
Good.
Let me say one thing. I feel like people are not talking about his season in this way. Bijan has a real chance at 2,300 total yards.
He does.
He's got a real chance to have more yards. He's at about 1,860. If he averages about 140 total yards a game, he's going to have more yards than Saquon did last year. He's got over 100 more total yards than any other player in the NFL. Nobody's talking about that. Or I think it's actually 98, but 100 more total yards than anyone else. Nobody's talking about Bijan like that. But that's the type of season he's having.
Yeah. I think he's kind of flown under the radar because of the touchdowns, but I mean, he really is.
Yeah. And the Falcons aren't
doing it.
So, yeah. But you definitely Bucks is the more important conversation.
This was kind of an anomaly for the Falcons. I mean, you saw Todd Bowles. I think when we did our impromptu episode, I don't know why I said, like, I don't think Todd Bowles gets fired. I guess in my head, I thought Tampa was still kind of running away with the division. They are not. No. And that kind of press conference is the I'm getting fired press conference.
It's the type of press conference where he knows something's going on. Now, the interesting thing is he just signed an extension. I think it kicked in this year. Like, he signed it this offseason. Maybe it kicks in next year. I don't know. But NFL teams have proven, like, that doesn't matter. The contract is the least of their concerns with a coach. So,
well, Coach Cap, I don't know. That has nothing to do with cap space. So the owner can just fire him whenever he wants.
Yeah, he can just fire him. But this was, you just can't lose this game if you're the Bucks. I mean, you just can't. Like, the Falcons, they're dead team walking, right? They've not had much success at all this year. They're missing their best pass catcher. They're on their backup quarterback, who everyone up until Thursday at 8:00 thought was super washed. And you sack him one time, a guy who's not mobile. You sack him one time, and then you just look clumsy on offense. And
you're healthy again.
They got bailed out,
and Mike Evans back in this game.
And Mike Evans was fantastic. They get bailed out because the Panthers lost again. But I have no evidence to support the claim that they are better than the Panthers. None.
And another shocking
week 5
part of this game.
They beat Seattle in week 5. But the Panthers beat Green Bay with Micah and the Rams. So I have no evidence to say this team is better than the Panthers and is going to win the division.
The Panthers have been on an upward trajectory since the halfway point in the season, and Tampa has been a downward trajectory the past since halfway point. And Atlanta had 19 penalties. 19 penalties against the Falcons, and you still lose.
It's impossible to lose that game. So the Buccaneers still play the Panthers twice. Am I going to be locked into those games? Yes.
You have to. You have to be.
The one good thing about losing in fantasy is that I just get to watch the games now. I'm not pulling for any players. I'm just watching the games. So I'm pumped about this finish, but this is a bad one for Tampa Bay. This is a bad one.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to bounce back from.
Yeah.
Anything else on the Bucks other than Mike Evans is going to try to get that 12th straight 1,000-yard season if he can squeeze it in 3 games, because he had like $150.
No, I mean, just it's all about their 2 matchups with the Panthers. They'll be pretty fun. So, but we can move on. We got other bigger games than this.
Yeah, there's some big stuff, big fish to fry. 1 o'clock window. Let's see. Let's kind of skip around because I'm going to save the big ones to the end. Bears manhandle the Browns. I've got nothing to say there to you. Other than I think the Bears are legit. The Bears are very good.
Garrett got another sack and a half.
He's like 2 away, I think.
So he's gonna break. I think he's just 1 away.
I think he's 1 away from tying.
He's going to break the record.
To break it.
Yeah, sack and a half. He's going to break the record. It still means something to me that he does it in 16 games. I know we can't do it that way because eventually there's going to be 18 games and then 19. And one guy did this when it was 14 games. I get all that. It still means something to me that he breaks it in 16 games. So I would like to see him do that. But yeah, the Browns are terrible and the Bears are really good. Caleb was fantastic in this game. He still makes some head scratching plays. The touchdown he threw to DJ Moore, where he throws it through like 4 guys.
Yeah, that was a bad.
Everybody's talking about how awesome that play is. I'm like, dude, you're up 3 scores against the Browns. What are you doing? Like, just kick the field goal.
Yeah.
But he made it work. That wins you games against the Browns in December. Will it win you games against whoever in January. I don't know, but they're good. They're good. And the Browns are real bad. They are bad.
The schedule is still tough, very tough rest of the way, but they are back on top of the division. Just of note.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and they got a real chance to win it. Yeah, we'll talk
about
Micah
the Packers later, but yeah. Commanders, Giants, anything there? I'm not surprised. I mean, it's they're taking Jaden out for the year, which they probably should do anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Commanders. I do have a lot of Commanders takes that we can get to in the future, but not to be hyperbolic. I'm just going to say something, and I don't want your reaction at all. You're just going to move on, okay? I think us losing this game could be the difference, could be the reason we never get to compete for a Super Bowl with Jaden Daniels, us winning this game. So I don't need your reaction to that. That's just my take with no explanation. So we can move on.
We can talk about that later. I think
not to be hyperbolic, but
the Eagles-Raiders was a 1:00 game too, right? Pretty sure.
Yes.
Okay. The Raiders suck and the Eagles are still really good. Even though the Eagles have looked like trash, they're still good and much better than the Raiders.
I can't even I truly, like, you win 31-0 and I can't take anything from it. Dude, this Raiders team is like,
the Pete Carroll.
That was hard to watch.
Bringing in Pete Carroll to have this hard of a rebuild is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But one good thing I'll say about the Eagles is, like, people talk about it, I think, more in baseball because it's probably a bigger deal in baseball, but how you're playing at the end of the season still does matter in football. And they finish Raiders, Washington, Bills, which is tough, and then Washington again. So they should be going into the playoffs hot. Like, you can't ask for better than that if you're the Eagles. Their schedule is really front-loaded, so who knows? Yeah. Maybe they figure something out in the next few weeks.
Yep, we'll see. Texans manhandled the Cardinals 40-20. I have been, and you've been there with me for the most part, not anti CJ Stroud, but we pump the brakes on him like he's not the second coming of Mahomes like everybody was saying he was after his rookie season. But he's been playing some dang good football as of late. I mean, the past month or so, he has been on a heater.
Absolutely. And if that he's on his
and we said this earlier in the season, if he can be a top 16 quarterback or that offense can be a top 16 offense, this is a real Super Bowl contender with that defense they have in Houston. So this is impressive and kind of scary.
In this version of the AFC, it is. I mean, you look at the numbers and they are really good. And if you watch the game, he played really well. I mean, and it was the Cardinals, and they're terrible, right? I get that, but I don't know, man. I've been in on the Texans for about a month now. I don't remember who they beat the 2 weeks leading up to the Chiefs game, but they won both those games, and that's when, like, right before the Chiefs game when I really got in on them. This is
their last 4 games. They beat the Bills 23-19. They beat the Colts 20-16. Yeah. They beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead 20-10, and now they beat the Cardinals 40-20.
Yeah. Yeah. So they still have a shot at the division. I hate that they don't play Jacksonville anymore, but the biggest game of the year was Davis Mills leading the comeback against Jacksonville. That kept their season alive. They finish Raiders, Chargers with that offensive line against this pass rush, Colts. So, I mean, that they legitimately could finish the season 12-2, and we'll see where the Jags land at that point.
Yeah. Speaking of the Jags, they do basically the same thing to the Jets. I mean, this is good team versus really bad team. Trevor Lawrence, everybody's going to be talking about it. 6 touchdowns. You can never just glance over that. That's wildly impressive for any quarterback to ever do. So good on Trevor Lawrence. And he's been playing, he had a really bad start to the season, but I mean, no Travis Hunter. BTJ hasn't been playing the best, but he's been playing good football as of late too. Really good football.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And BTJ was a lot better in this game. It looks like he's getting a little healthier, but Trevor, dude, since their bye, there's an argument to be made. He's played the best of any quarterback in the NFL. Now, this game really skews the stats, so like the stats look crazy, but he's been really good. Now, the schedule's been soft, okay? It was the Colts in the game. Daniel Jones got hurt. Titans, Cardinals, but they did hammer the Chargers. Like, he's been really good. I still do not believe in him as this team can make the Super Bowl type belief, but this team has talent. Like, they have proven their defense. They have enough on defense.
Oh, absolutely.
I like their weapons still, even with no Travis Hunter. I like their weapons. So
Jacoby Myers was a massive addition at the trade deadline. Massive.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that is just, I think he's a guy that's just better than the stat sheet. Like, whatever his stats are, he meant more to the game than what the stats dictate. You know, he's one of those players. So, yeah.
Yeah, great on the Jags. I really have nothing on the Jets. They fired their defensive coordinator. I feel like that's just, I don't follow the Jets. I don't know much about the guy. Are we just doing something to do something? Is that the situation there? I have no idea, but.
Yeah, they're doing something to do something. I mean, you're starting Brady Cook. What do you want me to say?
Yeah. All right. I think that brings us to the meat of the 1 o'clock window. And if you're a football fan, you know what we're about to get into. Let's start.
Yep. Now we're here.
Ravens-Bengals, because this was probably the quote-unquote least consequential game, even though it's still a big deal. The Ravens blow out the Bengals 24-0 in a weird...
Yep.
The stat sheet is incredibly strange for this game if you look at it.
This is the weirdest game I've watched all year. The weirdest game. So the Ravens win 24-0. Let me do some quick math right here. The Ravens ran, 40 plays, not including punts and kicks. The Bengals ran, 42, 53, 73.
Good gosh.
The Ravens ran 40 plays. The Bengals ran 73 and didn't score a point. So let's talk Ravens first, and then we'll get to the Bengals, a.k.a. we'll get to Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Lamar didn't
from
look
the
great
Ravens
in
side,
this game. Lamar did not play great.
I mean, he made two really good throws. He had one of his touchdowns was like a dump off that was taking like 40 yards. The touchdown to Zay Flowers was awesome. He had another should have been touchdown to Zay Flowers that Zay Flowers dropped. And he made one other really good throw. And I mean, if you throw 12 passes, if you throw 3 really good ones, like, that's fine. He was okay. He was not great. He ran effectively. Both his carries were big. I think both got first downs. But he only ran it 2 times. But again, they only ran 40 plays. And they were up big the whole time, and he just wasn't needing to risk anything. So I can't really take anything from this game from the Ravens other than they got the win. At this point, it's just about wins for them. Like you would love to see them. Yes, you would love to see Lamar play great. You'd love to see him come out and have one of his old Lamar games. 200 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 40 rushing yards, and a touchdown. You'd love to see that. That would make you feel great. But really what's important right now is just stacking wins because the Steelers keep winning. And they were able to do that. They ran the ball very effectively. Lamar, 13 yards a carry. Derrick Henry, 9 yards a carry. Keaton Mitchell, 8 yards a carry. You'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
You will definitely take that. So, and their defense was just all over. It was very bend but don't break. Like I said, the Bengals ran 73 plays. Like, they were putting drives together, but they got in the red zone and it was just over. They couldn't move the ball. They stopped them on 4th down a few times. And did they even attempt a field goal? They didn't even attempt a field goal. Wow. That's crazy because of how many times they were on that side of the 50, but good for the Ravens.
Yeah. I mean, you had to have it. The storyline that we're all looking at is Joe Burrow. What is happening?
Yeah.
Have we ever seen...
What are your thoughts on Joe Burrow?
My thoughts on Joe Burrow is, number one, I'm not going to defend him for this game. He played terrible.
Oh,
this was one of the worst. This might be the worst game he's ever played. Was this game? And
no, it was. It was the first time he's ever been shut out. This is the worst game of his career.
This, including college, this is the worst game he's ever played. Probably this, including high school, college. You've got to think this is probably the worst he has ever been. And he is. I don't know what this version of Joe Burrow is, because he's not there. His mind is not in football right now. I don't know where it is. I don't know what's going on in his personal life. His mind is not there. They interviewed him today, and they asked him, what are the chances he said, do you see a chance where you're not the quarterback of Cincinnati this year? And he said, no, I don't see that being a case. I don't know, man. This is a different situation than we've normally seen.
So this is when, like, people talk about the difference in media coverage from city to city. This is where, dude, if he was in New York or Philly or Boston, he would be getting grilled right now. I don't really like how the Cincinnati media has covered this, because he comes out last week, and what exactly were the comments? It was, I'm just not having fun right now. And if I'm not having fun, what am I doing this for? That was essentially the comments, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. And so the reporter, which was good, this week asked him, hey, man, are you talking about the Bengals? Like, are you talking about wanting to leave the Bengals? I don't remember exactly what the reporter said, but he asked about that. And Joe said, no, my comments had nothing to do with Cincinnati. You saw that press conference. You saw that comment?
He didn't say the Bengals. He said Cincinnati.
He didn't say the Bengals, and that maybe that's something. But he said, my comments had nothing to do with Cincinnati, which leads you to think, okay, well then are you just done with football? This is where the reporter, if he was in New York, the next question would have been, hey man, are you thinking about retiring? Like, that's what they should have said. That's what they should have asked, but they didn't do that. They just let him say that and didn't ask any more questions, or at least I didn't see any more questions. I would have loved to hear his answer on that. And I was thinking this. I was thinking, okay, maybe it is that he doesn't, want to be in Cincinnati anymore, or maybe it doesn't have anything to do with Cincinnati. Maybe it is he wants to retire. But Nick Wright made this point, and this is the best point I've heard made on TV in years. This is what he said. He said, dude, he rushed back from this injury.
Yeah.
You don't do that if you don't love football.
Yeah. I mean, we
said
this earlier in the year. I think you did, when we compared, the injuries he's had over his year and the abuse with him and Andrew Luck, is that Luck was a guy who was smart and just good at football. Joe lives and breathes football. Go ahead. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, Andrew Luck, the point was he could do other things and he's fine. Like, he likes football. He could do other things. Joe rushed back from this injury. Everybody thought he was out for the year. They're 3-8, and he is doing whatever he can to get back on the field.
He should have been just now coming back. Just now.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago.
He came back a month early. You don't do that if you're not 100% sure you love football. And now he's sitting here giving interviews talking about, he doesn't want to play anymore. He is, of course, talking about the Bengals. Of course he wants to keep playing. He doesn't want to keep playing for Cincinnati. Of course. He is straight up lying when he says it doesn't have anything to do with Cincinnati. He has to be. We know that because he rushed back from this injury. Because he loves football so much.
He rushed back from an injury.
So if I'm a Bengals fan,
that is losing games, actively losing games. Like, it's clear from a mile away they're not going to make the playoffs. Why would he rush back?
Yeah. Losing games, and it's this organization, man. It's the Bengals. This is an organization that did not have an indoor practice facility until 3 years ago. The NFL, this is the NFL. They did not have an indoor practice facility.
The players had to walk across a public road to get to practice.
There are college Division II teams in the South where it is warm that have indoor practice facilities.
South Carolina,
and the
University,
Cincinnati Bengals,
10 miles from my house, they have one of the nicest indoor facilities I've ever seen. That's a college team.
Yeah. And the Bengals are in the NFL, in the cold, and they got dudes walking across public streets to get to practice. I mean, it's that type of and we have seen this before from Cincinnati. Carson Palmer was there. And he gave, I don't remember how many years he played there. He played several years there.
I think it was 7 or 8 years.
And he came out and said, dude, I will retire if you don't trade me. You have to trade me. And he said, if you don't trade me, I'm going to retire. Like, he had given up hope with that organization. They trade him, and he actually puts together, he plays like 5 or 6 more years.
He did retire, I thought. I thought he did retire. He did.
I don't know. He wound up getting traded, though. They wound up trading him.
I thought he did retire.
Yes. They still had the rights to him. They wound up trading him, and he made the NFC Championship game. Like, he had a good career after that in Arizona. I think he actually had a stop before Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, it's that organization. They're just not. They're not about it. They had to sell the naming rights to the stadium to give him a contract. They had to sell the naming rights to the stadium. It's just, he just wants out. It's not about his love for football. This dude still loves football, but he went from, I'm a national champion to, I get hurt my first year in the NFL, but my second year we made the Super Bowl. My third year, I'm beating Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter to go to another Super Bowl. We lose, and then it's been disaster since then, and it's just drained the life out of him. And losing is not fun, especially for someone of his caliber. And of course, he's talking about the Bengals. This is not about his love for football at all. This is about the Bengals, 100%. Yeah.
And I was going to tie this into a Mahomes point later in this episode, but he is a ultimate competitor, Joe Burrow. Like, this man, you can tell he's angry when he loses. It's not a job to him. This man wants to win. And he's not going to in Cincinnati. It will be an episode for a later date. We will, in the near future, we will need to talk about Joe Burrow more. But
here's the thing: if you're an NFL organization and you hit the lottery in being the team lucky enough to draft a guy who actually turns out to be a guy in the NFL. How many first-round picks are not Joe Burrow?
I still think Joe Burrow is one of the top 4. Like, if the NFL redrafted today, he would be one of the top 4 quarterbacks selected. I fully believe that.
If that is the situation you find yourself in, where you are lucky enough to draft a Joe Burrow, your whole job is to make him happy. Your whole job, like, your job is to win. How do you win? You make him happy. You make him want to be there for his career. And they have just, as we always knew they were going to mess it up, they've messed it up. It's what they do.
And people still want to point the finger at Joe. We're like, oh, well, they paid T. Higgins. They paid Jamar Chase like he wanted them to do.
I mean,
but who would? I mean, who
can you lay that at his feet?
But, like, at the same time, you're not going to sit here and stand up for your boys.
Well, sure, you could lay that at his feet, I guess. That decision is what? 5% of the reason they're not winning this year and 0.1% of the reason that he's this unhappy?
Yeah.
Like, that's not what has done this. It's an organization that does not know what they're doing. Flatly does not know what they're doing. And, you know, they lucked up. They got Joe Burrow, and they've ruined it in 6 years. So
the Bengals are going to bingle.
That's where they're at.
Yeah.
They're going to bingle.
It's going to be a story to keep up with for sure in the very near future. All right. Let's go. Gosh, I don't know which one of these I want to talk about first. Which would you rather do? Of the big two games
Let's do Chiefs first, and then we can, or Chiefs Chargers, and then we can talk more positive in the Bills.
First things first, I want to give props to the Chargers. Still, Arrowhead. No matter what we're going to say about the Chiefs here in just a few minutes, Arrowhead is not an easy place to play. The Chargers are banged up right now. That offensive line is the worst offensive line I may have ever seen in my entire life. Justin Herbert plays tough. They get Amari and Hampton back, which that's a big boost. This Chargers team is gritty. It's just a gritty football team. They're not going to be an easy out. Even if you can beat them with this offensive line, they are gettable. They are a gritty football team.
Yeah.
And going on the road in Kansas City to eliminate the Chiefs from the playoffs, so much pressure is on them right now. This is your shot. You can end the empire right here. This is the Death Star. You get one torpedo to knock them out, and they do it. They do it.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. You look at the standings right now, they are the 5 seed. Fantastic. I like the Chargers. The state of this offensive line, I still cannot say they're a lock to make the playoffs. I still can't. I think they will. They're going to make it. They're going to make it. But I think they're going to be the 7 seed, I should say. They're not a lock to be one of the top 6 seeds, so they're going to be going to New England. They're going to be going to possibly Houston or Jacksonville and possibly even Buffalo in the first round. But Herbert, this has been, I don't care what has happened I don't care what the stat sheets say of his first several years in the NFL. This has been his best season. Like, easily. This is the season that he has literally put them on his back.
Yeah. I think this is the season where even if they lose in the playoffs, which they probably will just because of the state of their offensive line, this is the season where I think Herbert really did cement himself and silence the doubters of that guy is one of the best quarterbacks in football. He is.
That's it. Justin Herbert. Look, most of the league wakes up the first day of the season and is eliminated from Super Bowl contention because their quarterback's not good enough, period. That's just how it works for most of the league. The Chargers are not one of those teams. Justin Herbert can absolutely win a Super Bowl. He is that good. I don't know if he's good enough this year with the state of the offensive line, but he's a Super Bowl championship quarterback.
Yeah, I get behind that. And he's got the coach. They've got the coach. They've got the organization that's willing to do it. The Chargers have a window. They have a window that they need to take advantage of. I don't know if it'll happen this year because of the O-line.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I know you and I both are going to have a lot to say on the Chiefs' end. They are eliminated from playoffs officially. So where do you want to start here first?
I don't think we need to talk much about the game, actually.
No, I have nothing on the game.
Bigger picture about the season.
Big picture.
Yeah. We can talk bigger picture about the season. We can talk Mahomes, and then we can talk the last 7 years even. I want to get into a little bit. So the season-wise, I've been saying it for about 3 weeks now. They're not good enough, and they were never good enough. Like I said it earlier, when you're 2-2, it can be, you just had a tough schedule. When you're 3-3, it might be fluky, unlucky. When you're 6-6, when you're 6-7, when you're 6-8, that's just who you are. Like, you're just that level of team at that point. And so, they were never good enough. They could not get stops on third down. They were up, was it 13-3 or 10? I think it was 10-3. It was 10-3 with like 40 seconds left in the half.
13-3.
Okay, so 13-3 with like 40 seconds left in the half, and they let them go down and get a touchdown. And so when I saw that, I was just like, yeah, we've watched this all year. This team is not good enough to beat good teams. They just can't. That could be a lot of different factors. That could be, was Patrick playing poorly? He was playing well at the beginning. The last few weeks have been rough. Was it O-line injuries? Was it, weapons not developing?
People haven't talked about it as much. And it's not to downplay the other guys, but we've heard about other players being injured, like Herbert had surgery on his hand and stuff like that. Mahomes has been on the injury report with his knee for like a month now, and nobody's talked about it.
Oh, yeah. No, the knee was hurt, right? Like, this isn't just out of nowhere, this knee injury. Like, the knee's been hurt. He's been playing through it, but they just weren't good enough from a season perspective. And from a Patrick perspective, man, there are a lot of similarities to Brady. There just are. And obviously, Brady tore his ACL in season 8, the first game of the season. So, like, it wasn't like the Patriots missed the playoffs, but it wasn't because he did anything, right? The Chiefs missed the playoffs, and Patrick was there the whole time, right? Like,
He got hurt late.
Could they have won this game if he wouldn't have got hurt? They could have won this game, but still, with the way everything worked out, they would have had a 1% chance to make the playoffs even if they won this game. So they were going to miss the playoffs even with Patrick starting. But you think about the first 7 years, Brady and Patrick, 3 Super Bowls. Brady had 4 appearances. Patrick had 5. Brady had 5 AFC Championship appearances. Mahomes had 7, which is still the most mind-boggling stat of all. He made the AFC Championship in his first 7 years, every year. And then they tear their ACL the year before. Both made a Super Bowl and lost, and then tear their ACL in year 8. And what do I think this means for Patrick's career? I don't know. I think he's probably back within the first month of next season.
I was going to say this.
I know that's late in this season.
A Joe Burrow thing. Patrick is such a competitor. Like, he's going to hit this rehab very hard. I will be shocked if he doesn't play week 1. I will be stunned.
Yeah. So he's going to be there. Now, it was ACL and LCL. So that is a bigger deal.
That's true.
But they finish with Titans, Broncos, and Raiders. We're about to find out. If they lose to the Titans this week, which is on the board, we're going to see how many flaws he was covering up. Now, if they come out and they beat the Titans
I was listening to Nick Wright,
15 points.
He's on that book. He thinks the Titans are going to smoke the Chiefs this week.
Oh, he said that?
I'm pretty sure I heard him say that. Like, he thinks Mahomes was fixing a lot of problems. He's picking the Titans to win, I think.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I still think the Chiefs would win, but I'm saying if they don't, if the Titans come out and beat them, we're going to be like, oh yeah, Patrick was covering a lot of flaws for this team. And they're obviously going to get beat by the Broncos, and we'll see about the Raiders. But I don't know, man. The Chiefs need to change some stuff up. I saw this on Twitter's. You look at Patrick's stats before Bieniemy left and after. Like, it's night and day. That's when it all changed. It wasn't after they traded Tyreek. What did Patrick do? He set the all-time total yardage record and won the MVP. The year after they traded Tyreek and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was the year after that his stats really fell off after Bieniemy left. So I don't know. Can you get Nagy out of there, bring Bieniemy back? Maybe, if he's interested in that. What is Bieniemy doing right now, actually? I don't even know what he's doing.
Last time I heard he was in college somewhere. And I haven't heard much from him since.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, but I'm interested to see what direction the Chiefs take this offseason. I think they probably either draft a running back high or sign one. Sign either Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker.
Please
would be my guess.
Please sign Breece Hall.
I think they're gonna. Yeah, I think they're gonna be like, we need to draft, or we need a real running back, because they had no running game this year, and they're gonna make some changes as an organization. I don't know what they're gonna be, but I still think Patrick will get back to being an elite player.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this injury derails that.
I think there's kind of a window which might be a blessing in disguise. Obviously, it sucks for the Patrick injury was kind of out of left field that you really don't want to see. But I think the type of person he is, the type of player he is, I really am not worried about the ACL whatsoever. I think it's a good window for the Chiefs to do a retool. They're going to have a good pick this year. They've got to figure some cap stuff out, because they are 31st next year in cap. I think they're like $31 million over the cap. So they're going to have to do that. They're going to have to, and I don't know if they do get it fixed in an offseason. I know that Mahomes and Kelsey take up 40% of the Chiefs cap. So something's got to give there. And I want to also kind of recognize the chance and just sort of appreciate what we saw, that this may have been the last time we ever see Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce play a football game together. There's a chance.
Yeah.
A Hall of Fame tight end, first ballot Hall of Fame, first ballot quarterback, epic career they've had together. Maybe the last time we ever see them. So that's something to reflect on and just be appreciative of what we saw.
And just on that note, like, let's just say what this is. we just witnessed the end of the greatest 7-year stretch in NFL history by a team.
Yeah.
Like 5 Super Bowl appearances, 3 championships. Now, the Steelers in the 70s won 4, but it's different. They missed they didn't make as many. Not as many teams made the playoffs back then, so it's kind of hard to tell. So maybe that's the greatest. Maybe this is the second greatest. But regardless, one of the greatest ever. One of the 2 greatest ever. And, we come away with 3 Hall of Famers out of it, at least probably 4 if you count Tyreek. He was a part of the first little bit of that. And this was a great team, man. Dynasties are really hard in the NFL. There's really only been a handful of dynasties in the NFL. And if you'll remember, like people think, oh, Brady, man, he won the Super Bowl every year. No, between his 3rd Super Bowl and his 4th Super Bowl was a 10-year gap. Did you know that, Ben?
I did know that.
10 years.
He was good. He was great between his 10-year gap, but they didn't make.
He was great. Yeah. But he missed 10 years. Now the thing is, and if you want to hash out the Mahomes Brady debate, or just the thought process, go watch our episode post Super Bowl last year. We really went through it. But like the thing is, Mahomes is not going to play as long as Tom. So that's where he has to fit Tom's career into maybe 15 or 16 years as opposed to 22 or whatever Tom played. So 23. Yeah. So that's where the GOAT stuff comes in is longevity. But, he's not dead for the GOAT debate, but it's taken a hit for sure in the last, whatever it is, 10 months. So
yeah. And the run's not necessarily over. Like this dynasty that we've witnessed is over. They have to make changes this offseason. It may not be as one off season and they're fully back to contending next year. We'll see how that goes. But as it has been, it's over. It's going to look different if they are going to get back to that level. But also impressive of the era that they've done it in, because Brady, when they did it, you had great quarterbacks back then, but I just don't think that any of them, or this may be the best era of quarterbacks we're living in. I mean, Patrick did this in an era where Josh Allen may be one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen as well. Lamar Jackson does things that have never been done on a football field before. Joe Burrow is one of the best in the, that we've ever had as well. So the fact that they have maintained this through all that is beyond impressive.
Yeah. So there's 2 sides to that coin that I want to talk about, because Brady's era, he did it in, I see the Patriots as 2 dynasties. A lot of people say it was a 20-year dynasty. I think it was 2 separate dynasties, again, because there was that 10-year gap of no Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So the first one and then the second one, let's go back to that first run, because that was Big Ben wasn't there yet. It was Brett Favre, it was Peyton Manning, and then that second run, it was the best quarterbacks were obviously Aaron Rodgers. It was Cam Newton was one of the best. Russell Wilson was one of the best during that time. Big Ben was still there, and you think like when you say this is one of the best eras of quarterbacks, this is a better era of quarterbacks than back then, my immediately thought goes to, oh, really? Peyton Manning won 2 Super Bowls, and Brett Favre won this many MVPs, and Aaron Rodgers did this, and we think about all those guys' accomplishments. Here's the thing. The contemporary guys, the Burrows, the Mahomes, or the Allens, the Lamars, those guys, think about it this way. The reason they don't have those accomplishments, the reason they don't have those Super Bowl appearances and those Super Bowl victories is because of him.
Yeah, if Josh Allen, I think if Josh Allen gets by Mahomes once, he has a Super Bowl. Yeah. Lamar could have won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, Burrow was this close to a Super Bowl more than once.
Yeah. So you think about this crop of guys and you'll be like, how can you say they're better than Big Ben when he has 2 Super Bowls and Rodgers won 1 and Peyton won 2? It's like he won them all. Like, I know obviously he lost in the Super Bowl, but it was him and Brady even in his career. So yeah, this is a great era they did it in. It's amazing what they accomplished, and I'm excited to see if they can rekindle that. I don't know if they'll have another dynasty, But do I think he gets a couple more Super Bowls in his career? Probably. I don't know if they come like in a 3-year stretch or a 4-year stretch, but he's still got that talent. Andy Reid's still there for at least a little bit longer. I'm confident he's going to coach at least 3 more years. We'll see if he actually does. I'm pretty confident in that. So, we'll see what they can get back to. They got work to do though. They for sure have work to do.
And I don't even know if it happens next year, but I'm not worried about it. The competitor that Mahomes is, that they will be fine. They will be fine.
Yeah.
All right. We spent a long time there, but I do think it was warranted. But
this is why we blew through all those games.
Yeah. But let's move on to 2 teams that are very much in it. 2 teams that are going to be the eye of the NFL moving forward the rest of this season. Bills, Patriots.
Yeah.
Patriots are up 21-0. 21-0 in the second quarter. They're up 24-7 at halftime. And then Josh Allen, you've said it before during this season, and I fully agree with you. When that switch flips for Josh Allen, no one looks as good as him. And he leads 5 consecutive touchdown drives for the Bills. 5.
Yeah.
Or no.
I think
4 consecutive. I'm sorry. 5. No, it is. It is, including the second half drive. 5 consecutive touchdown drives for the Bills.
Yeah. And Allen in this game, like you look at the stats, he scored 3 touchdowns, right? But it was the third down. It was the third down conversions with his leg and arms, keeping drives alive. The Bills are, Ben, 2 things are true, and they're both unfortunate. Okay? They're both unfortunate for Josh Allen. One is this. They are very flawed.
Oh, yeah. I'm
they
genuinely
just are not
worried about them.
They cannot stop the run. They just can't stop the run. And McDermott, you're a defensive guy. Figure it out. I don't know what the answer is. And obviously, they just don't have guys who can get open. Now, it doesn't matter for Josh Allen stat-wise, but that might cost them a game on a 3rd and 8 if nobody can get open. Now, obviously, Allen usually picks those up with his legs, but they're an extremely flawed team is the first thing. And the second thing is this. Because of the conversation we just had with the last 2 quarterbacks we just talked about, actually the last 3 quarterbacks we talked about other than Herbert, they have to make the Super Bowl.
I agree.
They have to.
I'm genuinely worried because this is going to frustrate me to no end because we just talked about the Chiefs and how this has been an impressive 7-year run. I think it's not been as equally impressive, but impressive as in the Bills have been in lockstep with them all the way. They just keep coming up. I mean, they're coming up just short every time. And it's shown on their team. I think their team is still better than the Chiefs, but I don't think it's a massive gap difference. And Josh Allen he's covering that gap. So it's going to frustrate me because with how the season has gone for Mahomes and the injury and what's going to happen to them in the offseason, you said this a couple weeks ago, the title of best quarterback is up for grabs. I firmly believe, especially after a game like this, Josh Allen has his hands on that title. That's his right now. And I'm worried.
I wouldn't even say. Go ahead.
And I'm worried that he can claim that, and I think he is the best quarterback in football right now. And they're still going to come up just short in the playoffs because I don't think their team is good enough, and I don't think his coach is good enough. I don't trust Joe Brady's play calling. I don't trust McDermott's defense, and it's not going to matter if Josh Allen is the best quarterback if the rest of the team can't at least somewhat meet the greatness that he's putting out there.
Yeah, and look, I think as long as he doesn't have an embarrassing playoffs performance, he's the best player in the world. You have to say that. I mean, if he goes out and does what Herbert did last year or something, maybe not. But like, as long as he doesn't fall on his face, if he wins one playoff game and plays well in another loss, even, I think he's the best player in the world at that point. But here's the thing, man. I guarantee you, I can go back to every year Brady didn't make the Super Bowl and there were flaws on his team. Nobody cares. Mahomes, the years he's fallen short, there were flaws that, were the reasons he fell short. Nobody cares. They just put it at the feet of him. And Josh Allen, he is a media darling, right? The media loves him. If he does not make the Super Bowl this year, I think you will see a media shift. I really do. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think they're going to be making excuses for him, even though they might be valid excuses. Every quarterback, that is great, that doesn't make the Super Bowl, has valid excuses why they didn't. And it doesn't matter. Not in the NFL. Not when you're that good. Not when you're a Hall of Famer. Like, it's just about winning.
I guess that's where my argument is, that
it's going to fall back on him.
Season.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Even if he plays well and they lose, it's going to fall back on him. Well, didn't get it done again. And I hate that.
He could score 4
because
touchdowns,
they're so flawed.
No turnovers, and he should have had 5.
And I think, and it's so crazy, but I think in terms of how we view Hall of Fame elite all-time quarterbacks, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that being the standard. It's just win. Like, to me, when you're that great, when you're going into a playoffs with no Mahomes, maybe no Lamar, no Joe Burrow, you're going up against Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert, who we like, but has never won a playoff game, and CJ Stroud and Drake May. Like, I'm okay with saying, figure it out, Josh. And I am pulling for him now. I want Rams, Bills in the Super Bowl. That's what I want at this point. I am pulling for Josh Allen because I do like Josh Allen a lot. I hate that they're flawed, but no matter what, they have to make it this year with this playoff picture. They just do.
Yeah. We're barreling towards the meme that I see passed around every now and then, where like it's the picture of, the 4 quarterbacks that were in the AFC Championship, and you had the year that it was like Brady, Nick Foles, Blake Bortles, and Case Keenum. That's the kind of season we're going to have
17.
this year, where you're going to be the AFC Championship, and it's going to be CJ Stroud and Trevor Lawrence. Like, what happened there?
Yep. Okay, and I never do this, but you just reminded me of something. I've got to go back to an old take that I saw on YouTube Shorts the other day. That AFC, that championship weekend, when it was those 4 quarterbacks, it was Brady, Foles, Case Keenum, and
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles, right? Those were the 4, right? At that point, Brady had won 5 Super Bowls, right? Yes, Brady had won 5 Super Bowls at that point. And they had a topic on First Take, and the question was, which of those 4 has the most pressure on them to perform this weekend? And Max Kellerman's answer was Tom Brady.
I agree with that.
I mean, that's as bad as it gets. That's as bad. But
it's
anyway,
like he can't lose that game. You can't lose to those guys.
Yeah. But anyways, Bills got to make they got to make it. And this game was awesome. We haven't talked about the game. This game was awesome for them. They proved So let's move to the Patriots. Okay, so I'm going to merge these two, Bills, Patriots. There's 2 ways to look at this if you're the Patriots. One way is, hey man, we had a lead on the Bills, and we got a young team. We can learn a lot from this. That's one way to look at this. Maybe. The other way to look at this is the Bills' little brother, the Patriots.
They did.
They little brothered them. They treated them like their kid brother. We spotted you 21, and we just come back. And usually when a team
in Foxborough,
when a team blows a lead like that, it's typically like, oh, our quarterback threw 4 picks, or we fumbled 3 times, or whatever the case is. They had 2 turnovers, but it wasn't like they were just giving the ball away. Buffalo just walked them down. And
I mean, this was the Josh Allen, everybody's falling over themselves for Drake May, and rightfully so. He's having a great season. This was the reminder. That's still the best quarterback in the division. That's still his division.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and look, Drake May, 155 yards, no touchdowns, a pick in the biggest game of his life. Can we say that? This is obviously the biggest game of his life.
I mean, you win this, you lock up home field advantage, you win the division. And you're
or you put yourself in great position for home field advantage, and you lock up the division. Yeah,
and you're now, at home,
dude. The Bills are on their heels. They play Baltimore this week in Baltimore. Now, Baltimore's not been playing great. Is that a losable game though?
Yeah.
I
think the Patriots should win that game. They should, but
yes,
I'm with you. They could lose.
And here's the thing. So Let me look. They always say never do public math, but I'm doing it right here. They ran it for 249, threw it for 139. So that's 55. That's 385 yards. Okay. So they had 385 yards of offense. When over a quarter of your offense is, hey man, Travion Henderson's going to break 1 for 50 and 1 for 70. I just can't rely on that. I can't have that be the thing that gets me to the playoffs. I got to have my quarterback stand in the pocket, pick up first downs, and hold on to a 21-point lead. Look, Drake's in the second year, right? You don't expect him to go toe-to-toe with Josh Allen.
They need a receiver just like the Bills do.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But so maybe they take this and they're way better because of this game. Maybe, though, Buffalo just proved, hey, man, they're a good team, but they're not a trustworthy playoff team, and that's also possible. I'm pulling for the Patriots, too, because I really like Drake May. You know, I had my run-in with him earlier this year when it was the Jaden and Drake discussion. But then Jaden just kept getting hurt, and you know what honestly turned me, Ben? Did you see the interview they did with Drake May last week? You probably didn't see it because you wouldn't care about this. Drake May said something that, I mean, the best way into my heart. You know what he said? They were interviewing him, and he was talking about his brother. Yes.
Yeah,
he said, I've still never done anything as good in sports as the shot my brother hit. Now, you have no idea what he's talking about. I'm positive you have no clue what he's talking about. Do you?
I remember his brother. I know he was great. Was it against Duke or in the national championship? It had to be something.
No, it was in the Elite Eight against Kentucky to send us to the Final Four. But when he said that, I'm like, okay, all is forgiven, Drake. I mean, you understand. You understand the way to my heart. Talking about Luke May. I celebrate Luke May Day, March 26th every year. So, yeah, I'm back all in on Drake May. So I love Drake May.
I mean, if you check out the picture behind Landon's head right now, it's obvious.
Yeah. So, what time is it? I'm not going to go into that story, but, yeah. But anyways, so I'm pulling for Drake. I do like him. I want the Patriots to have success. I'm afraid that this game means they're not ready. Because just 21-point leads at the half, or 21-point leads in the second quarter at home, when you have the guy who might finish a good team and a guy who might finish as the second in MVP voting, it might signify that, hey man, this is a great second year. No matter what happens to the Patriots in the playoffs, this was a fantastic year.
Absolutely.
If they get bounced in round one and Drake throws 6 interceptions, this was a great year for them, right?
Yeah.
This game, I'm afraid it proves more that they're not ready than this is a learning experience. Yeah. Is what I'm afraid of for them.
I still think the Patriots are for sure one of the top 5 teams in the NFL. I'm hopefully coming at it from a different perspective as this proves that the Bills, even though they're flawed, they can go and beat anybody on any Sunday. So that's kind of where I'm looking at too. So
when you have 17, you can beat anybody.
There's a lot of good on both sides. I mean, you can't. Drake May didn't play a great game. All right, the guy's in his second year. He wasn't horrendous. Like, he didn't lose this game for them. And you lost to, when Josh Allen gets hot, it's hard for anybody to beat him. So you scored 31 points, division rival. I mean, this was a great game all around. I can find positives and negatives for both of them. I think this is a playoff matchup. We just watched a playoff matchup. Can we agree to that?
We watched a matchup that we could see again, yes. And the thing is, though, looking at this, it's possible for the Bills to win this division. Now, I don't know what the tiebreakers will be if they both finish with the same record.
Because if the Bills went out and then the Ravens beat them, I don't know how that works.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's not impossible that the Bills chase them down. That would not be great. This team with a young quarterback, they need a home playoff game.
Yeah.
It's hard to win as a young quarterback on the road. I mean, I know I just watched Jaden win 2 road games last year, but it's not easy to do that. Like, it's not an easy thing to do, so we'll see.
Yep. All right, we spent a lot of time on the big 3 games, and rightfully so. We'll have to speed through a lot of the rest of these. I have nothing on the Colts.
What time are we at?
We're at an hour right now.
Are we seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. I don't have much on the Colts Seahawks other than I still worry about the Colts for this reason. Their offense is sketchy at best, but good on Phillip Rivers for not dying against the Seahawks defense. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he made it through the game. This was an ugly one for Seattle. This was like, I think this was a really,
this was a red flag game for me.
This was a big Steichen game.
This was
a big Steichen game. Like, this was like, Steichen put on a masterclass. I mean, I know they lost, but what is it, Mike McDonald? He just got out coached, but they're just way better.
Yeah.
The Colts, I don't think they win another game. I think they've probably missed the playoffs, but this was a good one, and we'll have a good one on Thursday night this week with Seattle and LA.
Yeah, this is that's a fantastic Thursday matchup. We don't have time to talk about that, but it is.
Yeah.
Packers Broncos. I still am not convinced the Broncos are that good, but they keep doing it, man. They keep doing it, and then obviously
I think here's where I'm at. I was wrong on them. I think they are that good. I do think now Bo Nix was exceptional in this game. I do think he's going to be the reason they lose a playoff game. But they are that good. Yeah. They're that good.
Obviously, the news for the injuries destroyed the Packers. They lose Christian Watson among other good players, so that is something really to pay attention to in this game. And then, obviously, a few hours after Mahomes tears his ACL, losing Micah Parsons to an ACL is just devastating for the NFL, and obviously really bad for the Packers, because the Chiefs were always fighting. They were fighting from behind. The Chiefs, this wasn't their year, you could tell. This was the Packers' year. This was the Packers' year to do it, and they just lost their best shot.
This is really, really terrible for, the Micah trade and that contract, and for Micah himself. It's terrible for that, but I think it's a death knell for the season. I don't think this team can win 3 or 4 playoff games in this state. So they're going to make the playoffs. I think they've done enough to get there, but yeah, I don't see them competing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
unfortunate. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
I hate it for Packers fans, but I agree with you. This is probably where we're at with them. Anything else on that one?
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, I would love to, but we're at an hour.
Yeah,
so
we're 49ers Titans. 49ers good, Titans bad. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I will say we need to give some props. We need to give some props to the 49ers. I thought they were dead with all the injuries. They still have a chance for the 1 seed.
They have the best coach.
They have a chance for the 1 seed.
They have the best coach in football.
One of the Rams and Seahawks are losing this week, and if they win, they're going to be tied atop that division. They have a real chance at the 1 seed. So, good for them.
Yeah, best coach in football, Kyle Shanahan.
Maybe.
Saints Panthers.
Yeah, maybe.
I've got nothing on the Saints other than they've been playing scrappy. This is why we were worried about the Panthers. This is why. I mean, whoever wins the NFC South will be bounced immediately.
And they will win it despite their best efforts to lose it. They will win it by default. This is a tough one. The Panthers really needed this one.
The Bucks and Panthers back-to-back weeks.
Well, the Panthers really needed this one. I mean, the Panthers are division on the line. They're fighting for their division life, and they get swept by the Saints in the last month. Lose 2 to the Saints. I mean, you just can't do it. The Saints have lost 2. They're 2-10 in games not against the Panthers, and they're 2-0 against the Panthers. It's just,
Yeah. Rams.
We don't need one of these teams. Can we skip this division, please?
Yeah, please. Rams, Lions. Matthew Stafford.
I wish we had more time.
Once again, another incredible game. Puka Nacua single-handedly almost basically eliminated you from the playoffs.
No, that was Travis Etienne.
Yeah,
Anyways, go ahead.
That's true. But I've been saying it all year. We've been saying it. They're the most complete team in football. Matthew Stafford is playing the best of his career at 37 years old.
Yeah.
They should be the favorites to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. They are.
Top 5 quarterback.
They're really good. I do offense, think they are the best
top
team.
5 defense.
Yeah. I think they are the best team. And defensively, like Stafford was great. He possibly locked up the MVP in this one. But, well, I mean, I guess he probably still has to win the division, actually, now that I say that. But
I think Josh
Allen
wildcard
teams just don't get MVPs.
Josh Allen's making an impressive late season push, and obviously Drake May's up there, but Stafford, I think has it by
I think they would have to
amount.
lose the division.
Yeah.
They would have to lose the division for somebody else to win it. But
he can lock it up tomorrow night on Thursday.
Everybody knows about their offense. Like, their defense is... They're good. They're not a great defense, but they come in with a game plan, and they just execute it. And they say, I don't care what else you do. We're stopping one thing. Like, they just came in. It just looked like they were stopping the run.
Well, guess what?
No matter what. And yet again, the Lions don't run for 100 yards, and they lose, right? They are 0-6 when they don't run for 100 yards. So, but they just said, you're not running the ball. I don't care how much you throw it. You're not running it. And they threw it pretty well. Didn't matter.
Statistically, Jared Goff was really unbelievable in this game. 338 yards.
Oh, yeah. He was fantastic.
3 touchdowns, no picks. Like, awesome. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, he was.
Amon-Ra is the reason I had no prayer in my playoff elimination. He buried.
Yeah, that wasn't great for you.
No.
But, yeah, I mean, both these teams are good. I still think the Lions, I still think they're going to make the playoffs. But it's definitely not a lock. They got work to do.
Yeah. It's going to have to be a wild card they get. Vikings versus Dallas. You called it. Give the Cowboys fans hope after 2 big wins, and there it goes.
Yep, and that's it. And JJ McCarthy's ruining your season on Sunday Night Football.
Technically, if they win out and the Eagles
technically they're
out.
done. Nope.
Technically,
they're done. The Eagles play. The Eagles have 2 games against Washington left.
I know the Eagles' schedule.
They have 2 games against Washington.
With
it
no
ain't
Jaden
happening.
Daniels.
But with no Jaden Daniels, with Marcus Mariota. This was good for the Vikings. The win doesn't really mean anything other than, boost morale in the locker room. Good for them. But for the Cowboys, this is a crushing one. They're not going to make it. And there was not a second this whole season I thought they were a playoff team. I thought a couple weeks ago, I thought they were playing like a playoff team. But I said, dude, they've dug themselves too much of a hole at this point. There's no way they get a wild card. It has to be this Eagles collapse. And the Eagles finish Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Commanders. Like, they're not. It wasn't in the cards once they started out the way they did. So unfortunate, but I'm not frowning.
Yeah, JJ McCarthy or Justin Jefferson still dominates targets and has 2 catches for 22 yards. And
that's what time is it?
We're at 1 hour 8 minutes.
Oh, we're good. Okay, yeah, we can talk about this.
We got a little bit of time.
So, one thing I want to say about Jefferson,
he did have 1 drop.
I've got to give him his flowers. I've got to give him his flowers. And I know he did not play well. That's not it. He didn't play well. I know he gets the touchdown called back and but he had some drops. He didn't play well. Here's where I'll give him his flowers. Ben, I don't know if you know this, but on occasion, wide receivers can be divas.
I wouldn't say that's on occasion.
That ring any bells?
That's the norm.
That's the norm. Dude, outside of bad body language during games, which is to be expected, he has been as class act as you can be this season.
Yeah, he has yet to throw McCarthy under the bus once.
No, he has been such a class act. And again, the body language on the sideline hasn't been great at times.
He's pissed.
Understandably, shouldn't be.
Everyone knows he's mad.
But you know what he's not doing? He ain't reading any books. There's no cryptic tweets. He's not doing sit-ups shirtless in his driveway like T.O. did back in the day. He's just going about his business. He knows McCarthy isn't the guy. He knows it, but he's not saying it. And he's obviously frustrated. This is an all-time great player. And a lot of the pace that he's been on in terms of production this year, I'm sure that has taken a huge hit this season with the season he's put up. I mean, is he even going to get 1,000 yards? I mean, it's going to be close. Like, he's not a lock for that, which is unthinkable for someone of his magnitude who's been healthy the whole time.
832 yards with 3 games left. So he could do it, but he and McCarthy
he's gonna do
got
it.
to get on the same page.
Yeah, he's going to do it, but I mean, you got to give him his flowers for that. Has he played well? No. Is it his fault? Of course it's not his fault. But he has not been a diva, and that's worth something. That is worth something.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, we talked about it a couple episodes ago where, I mean, the 2019 LSU team was during our time in college, so we were big fans of them. We've been big fans of them ever since. Justin Jefferson is one of my favorite players, so I hate this for him, but
of course,
the way he's handled the situation has just made him even more so one of my favorite players, because if this was, and I love Jamar Chase, if Jamar Chase was in this situation, he would be talking. He would be talking.
Yeah.
Justin would not.
We would have gotten, Jamar Chase would have been like, on a scale of 1 to 10, diva, Jefferson's been a 1 or a 2. Chase would have been probably closer to 5 or 6. There's a couple 10s out there, though. I mean, there's a couple guys who this would have been a real problem.
There's one in Philly you just referenced.
We'd had issues. Yeah, they'd have been issues on a couple of these guys. So good for him.
Yep. I hope they figure it out. And secretly, holy crap, if they traded for Joe Burrow, would be the most unbeatable team of all time. Just something to think about.
Yeah.
Just something to think about. Last thing. This will be quick. Monday Night Football. Steelers beat the Steelers beat the Dolphins. I have nothing to say on the Steelers. This is the way they've been winning football games the past few weeks. It's working. This is Steeler football. Don't change it. Tua is benched.
Yeah, Steelers, good for them. They keep winning. They keep ahead of the Ravens, and they still have them on the schedule. So the Ravens could very easily win this division. Like, very easily win this division. Now, they don't have the easiest schedule rest of season. Let me pull that
Lions, Browns,
up. I don't remember exactly. What was it?
Lions, Browns, Ravens.
Yeah, so they still have the Lions and Ravens. They got the Browns. You got to win that game. You just have to. I know they got a tough defense. You have to win it. But I don't know. Good for Aaron Rodgers. Dude, this has been a good season. I don't care. Is he the best leader? No, he's not the best leader. Does he throw teammates under the bus? Yes. Is he not? Is his attitude greater than the production on the field at this point? Yes, it is. He's had a really good season, even if this is it. I mean, even if they squeak in the playoffs. Yeah, go ahead.
I appreciate seeing the all-time great at least go out on a season like this. I mean, you could say what you will about Aaron Rodgers. He is one of the all-time greats, and you don't want to see what was happening in the Jets. That doesn't want to be my last memory of Aaron Rodgers. I'm okay with this being my last memory of Aaron Rodgers.
No. Yeah, and if he's anything like Brett Favre, they'll make the AFC Championship game this year. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, good for them. Good for him. On the Dolphins, I mean, this game, it was below 40 degrees, so we should have known.
We were texting each other during this game.
Dude, that pick he threw.
The very first.
On the out route to Jalen Waddle.
Laser he threw?
I'm sorry. If I'm the coach, truly, that's the last throw he ever throws for me. If I'm the coach and I see that. That was the least arm strength throw I have ever seen in the NFL. I've never seen a throw that weak in college, ever. That was and I've said it for 3 months on this show. He's not physically gifted enough to play the position in the NFL. He's just not. and they gave him $56 million. They gave him $200 and whatever $million. He's getting 54, 56 next year.
It's easy to
and
look
if they
good.
cut him, they pay him that.
It's easy to look good when you're in college.
If they cut him,
go ahead.
If they cut him, it's $99 million against the cap. 54 next year, and then he's got extra dead cap on top of that.
That's like Deshaun
Russell
Watson
Wilson
numbers.
was 80.
That's like Deshaun Watson.
Well,
numbers.
Russell Wilson was 80. When Denver cut Wilson, he was 80 million cap. Tua is 99. To trade him, it's gonna have to be like Tua and it's gonna be like Tua and a second, and we'll eat 25% of the contract for a sixth or something like that. That's going to be, if you trade him, that's going to be the trade. Seriously, because of how bad the contract is. And it's got to be to a team in a dome. So, I mean, like, I'm trying to think, is there any team that could do it? Would the Colts maybe try something?
Would he be better than J.J. McCarthy? I don't know.
I don't know. But that's going to have to be the trade. Like, they have to give up a high pick and probably still eat some money for that contract, or else they're just going to cut him. He just, I don't know if it's the concussions. It looked like he could move better before the concussions. It looked like even he had a better arm before the concussions. I don't know what it is, but
like it looks like Aaron Rodgers out there getting sacked. Like he just falls down. Like he like you see a defensive tackle coming towards him. He doesn't try to evade, step up. He just falls.
He's the same age as Justin Herbert.
And Justin Herbert is like hurdling. I mean, let me be very clear. He was never the same athlete. Justin Herbert is an elite athlete. But like Herbert is out here hurdling defensive ends to get a 2-yard dump off behind his offensive line. And Tua is collapsing when he sees a defender.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the physical limitations on him, it is shocking that he played quarterback in the NFL this long. It really is. He can't throw the ball. Like,
I mean,
you can have limitations at quarterback. Like, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that have serious limitations when it comes to reading defenses and making decisions, right? We see it all the time. That is you can't win that way, right? You can't win with a quarterback like that. I would rather have that than a guy who, even if he knows a guy's open, even if a guy is open and he just cannot get him the ball before the defender gets there. I'll take the guy with mental limitations that maybe a smart coach can coach him out of, rather than the guy who cannot throw a 15-yard out. He just can't do it if it's below 40 degrees. And I don't know what you do if you're Miami. This is a mess. It was ridiculous them giving him that contract, and now it's gone about as bad as it could.
I mean, in college, he threw to college-level guys where being elite is, I mean, he had Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, Devonta Smith, and Jalen Waddle all on the same team at the same time. So, I would look good throwing to those guys in dump-offs and screens. And then he's throwing to Tyreek Hill.
And Jalen Waddle still.
And Jalen Waddle? Yeah.
Tyreek Hill covers up a lot of flaws. And honestly, the receiving core they have right now, even with Jalen Waddle, obviously a lot better than he was in college, his college receivers were better than this receiving core right now.
Yeah.
They were better. And
this is why.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the Dolphins do with Mike McDaniels. I don't know what they do with Tua.
We talk about Bryce.
He can't be your starter.
Talk about Bryce Young's physical capabilities. Bryce Young will look like dadgum Michael Vick compared to Tua.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
He looks like LeBron James athletically compared to Tua. Yeah.
Well, that's a crappy way to end the episode, but that's where we're at. I'm excited.
That's where we're at.
I am excited. I want to take 1 second for talk about how good of a Thursday night football we have this week.
Oh, my gosh.
Division on the line. Division on the line. Same record, Rams. Same record, Seahawks. No major injuries. Devontae Adams probably isn't going to play. But other than that, like no major injuries. Like it might be an ugly game given how good Seattle's defense is, but this is a great game.
I will take the over on 2.5 interceptions for Sam Darnold.
Yes. I would get behind that.
Darnold has been great. He's been really good the past 2 years. Prime time and big pressure moments have not been his friend this year or last. So I'll take the over on 2.5 interceptions. But I want to see a great game. I want Stafford to lock up the MVP. What can I say?
I mean, I think if he wins this, do they win the division if they win this game?
San Fran could still do it, I think.
That's right.
Actually, I think Seattle probably still could, but they would hold the double tiebreaker on them. So
they would have to have more wins than the Rams at that point, which I don't see happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because there's 2 to play and they're down 1. They'd have to win out and the Rams have to lose out, which I don't know the schedules off the top of my head, but
I doubt
I don't see it happen.
Yeah. Anyway, we found a way to wrap it up with a good way. Really excited for Thursday Night Football. Really excited to see the rest of the finish, and I really hope I can win some fantasy championships this year. But we will see.
Yep.
And we will see you guys in the next episode.